Hey everyone, welcome to the first part of my coloring book collection. This is the part 8C. And the first two books I'm going to show you by random flip-through is Luovaa väritettävää aikuisille japanilaisia kuvioita or Creative Coloring for Grown-ups Japanese Patterns. And this is a pretty fun book. The images are quite simple and I think this is very suitable to different level of colorist. I completed this book around 2 years ago or something, and I posted some of the completed pictures in my Instagram page. You can find it at etherember or hashtag etherember. So if you love Japanese patterns like kimono fabrics, just some like wood carvings or any kind of Eastern style illustrations, this is a nice book. The paper quality in this one is not the best, but it suits for different media. Although I wouldn't use any water-based mediums such as watercoloring or perhaps not acrylic paints on this one. And the second one that I completed some time ago is called Luovaa väritettävää aikuisille uskomattomat toimintasarjakuvat, or in English Creative Coloring for Grown-ups, the classic comic coloring book. So if you're a fan of nice ink or fine line art, some old comic style, or just some comic drawings, this is a very nice book. This is also a great book for a comic lover. And I think that these illustrations are from like 50s, 60s, 70s, something like that. I'm not so into comics that much, or at least not the older comics, so I'm not sure about these. But nevertheless, they are really nice, simple illustrations with titles, maybe some text. Yeah, it was a really nice coloring book. So let's start. The first one that I have here is aikuisten värityskirja numero 2. It's basically just coloring book for grown-ups number 2 by Anne Vasko. She's a Finnish artist. And this coloring book is also sort of like it has these little tasks or incomplete pictures that you can complete. This is a really cheeky, kind of laid-back coloring book for someone who doesn't necessarily like to color only. And by now, this is 2021 when I'm doing this audio. I have completed some of these pictures already, and this is a pretty fun artsy small book. Alright. Next one is aikuisten värityskirja Unihiekkaa by Kolmiokirja Oy. This is also a grown-up coloring book. It has different kind of illustrations. I'm not sure if there's a one artist behind them, or perhaps they are bought from Shutterstock. But it's a nice book to start if you don't know how to start your coloring hobby. These sort of magazines or thin books that they sell in grocery stores or other kind of stores, they are really nice way to start a hobby. Of course, the paper is not the best, but it is decent, and it can handle, for example, in this page, the background is made with ink, I think. So it can take some kind of material, some ink, but you should use a protective sheet behind the illustration you're working on. And if you're a pattern lover or color lover or want to try different color combinations, this kind of book is perfect to try your wildest imagination with your colors. The next one I have is Alphonse Mucha or Mucha, I'm not sure how it is pronounced, coloring book by Pomegranate. I love Mucha's illustrations. Of course, these are not the originals, because the original artist lived some time ago. And this is, I think the style is called Art Deco. So if you like these kind of vintage styled pictures with women and flowers, this is a nice one to have. Although the paper, yet again, as you can see from here, from the left page, or the background of the page, it can take only some amount of water. I'm using watercolors with this one and pencils on top, but be careful if you have some water-based materials. And another Mucha themed very nice coloring book is called Alphonse Mucha Make Your Own Art Masterpiece. And I think the artist / illustrator is called David Jones and Daisy Seal, and they base on the original art pieces. And there's also, like you can see on the left page, a small circle or small detail from the original color scheme. So if you want some sort of hint where to lead your coloring, or just some kind of point where to start, it's a nice thing to look and get inspired of. The line art in this one is quite thin, so if you have problems with your sight, you might have some difficulties with this one, although the illustrations are really, really gorgeous. And this book can handle some sort of amount of water, so watercolors are okay if you're not overly using them. But I think perhaps markers and pencils are the best ones for this book. A really, really nice one. I'm also into anime, and this one is called Anime Coloring Book for Adults by Catherine Bradford. I ordered this from Amazon, and the illustrations are nice, although the paper quality is like the printer quality. It's a pity because you can use really nice colors and ways to decorate these pictures. They are filled with cute girls and all kind of anime stuff. So it's a shame it's not the best quality, although nice illustrations. And this one was gifted to me. This is called Arabesque Anti-Stress Coloring Book, and it's filled with this simple kind of mixture of Arabesque style, these kind of Middle Eastern patterns. They are quite detailed, so if you don't like pictures with small details or combinations of small details, then this might not be for you. But for someone who loves doing small little edges and try to follow between the lines and try to mixture colors, this is a nice one. And there's like this mandala vibe also. So if you want something different from mandalas but something quite similar, I will recommend this one. So, this one was also gifted to me. This is actually not Finnish. This is Estonian Armastuse Mandalat Värviraamat, which is basically like mandala coloring book. This is a small, cute little book with very nice mandalas, but also the line art is quite detailed. But of course, you don't necessarily need to follow the lines. You can also color just however you like, basically. Alright, my first Creative Heaven coloring book, Art Nouveau Jewelry Designs Coloring Book by Carol Smith, is very lovely indeed. I really love jewels and every sort of like necklaces and hair ornaments and everything that's precious, basically. I'm not the best to color them. I'm still in learning, but these pictures are so great. You can see that they are done with passion. They're very decorative, very interesting, and yeah, it's just fun to look at them and just browse the book. So you can easily get inspired by them, whether you're a colorist or an artist. Okay, the start of the letter B. The first one is called Beasts of Tolkien, a coloring book, and the illustrations are made by two fabulous artists, Mauro Mazzara and Andrea Piparo. The artwork is stunning. So, in case you're a Tolkien fan or like playing RPG games or fantasy is your favorite genre, this is a fabulous book to own. It also introduces you to different characters and scenery, some wildlife or creatures. Most of these were unfamiliar to me, so I learned lots of new things while studying this book. And as I said already, the inkwork is just stunning, as you can see here. It's very original and quite linery or detailed. This is one of my total spreads that I've completed. It's with Nazgul birds. It was a tedious task to finish this one, but I think it was worth it. I learned a lot while doing this kind of coloring work. Alright. Next one in line is called Boudoir Coloring Book. So if you like feminine things such as boudoir or exotic sceneries, flowers, or nicely designed furniture, this is a cute little neat book to study. There's a lot of ornamental backgrounds and interior designs. And it has a lot of these illustrations also. It's a nice way to start trying your skills or getting better in coloring. And at least I never get bored when I flip through this book. Okay, the next one is something very Finnish. It's called Color Your Helsinki or Helsinki värityskirja. It's by Mervi Männikkö and Anne Laios. And if you've never been to Helsinki, this is a nice pre-travel experience to have. Or in case if you're a Finnish person like I am, it's a nice thing to just like inspire and see how a Finnish landscape can be drawn. There's very Finnish or Helsinki styled scenery or details, and it's a nice way to get to know like this great city that we have in Finland. The next book I ordered on AliExpress, I think. It's a Chinese coloring book called Coloring Book of Flowers and Sweet Girls. And in case you've ordered any Chinese coloring books before, this one also comes with these colored prints. So you can see the original artwork, maybe copy them, try your skills. Or just like feel your curious side. So this one has dress designs. The left side you can see the dress and the plant or flower that inspired it. And on the right side there's a girl, always a different girl, who's wearing the dress on the left side. So it has a quite nice variation of anime styled or manga styled girls and different dresses. So if you have a soft spot in your heart for sweet, sweet girls and perhaps a pastel colored palette, this is a diamond for you. And then we go and see my Coloring Heaven magazine collection, and we start by Animal Wonderland Special by Kanogo Egusa. And this is a really marvelous magazine, the Coloring Heaven magazine. I'm a subscriber, and there's always a different issue every month, and this one is filled with whimsical animals that behave almost like humans. It's filled with nice, like countryside landscapes, sometimes ornamental decoration surrounding them, and these baby animals are always so cute. They are fun to color, and usually these pictures end up really colorful. So if you're not afraid to use color, this is a nice thing to try your skills. Unfortunately, I don't own any Kanogo Egusa's original books, but this was a nice introduction for her work. The next one is Anime Special by Desti. She's a pretty unfamiliar artist to me, but this issue is filled with nice Japanese-inspired manga/anime-styled girls and scenery. So by just looking at these pictures, you can learn some traditions and get to know this style. The line art is pretty simple, but yet it's quite interesting. It's a really fun issue to color in. And every image is so different to each other, yet very fun. Also a colorable backside in this one, and front side. The next up is Cat Special by Cindy L. Sharoni and Francine van Westring. They get inspired by cats, and you can see that this magazine is filled with different cats. Usually there's a framing around them. So if you're a cat lover like I am, just looking at these illustrations will definitely make you smile. Some of these cats are not that realistic, since they're filled with these small decorations like flowers or ornaments. But the end result is quite astonishing. And a very, very nice backside of this magazine. And then some festive one, Christmas Special, and this has various artists. Some of them are like Christmas fairies, as you can see here, very lovely pictures and easy to color, I assume. There's only a few ones that I've completed in this one, but I'm looking forward to adding more completed ones. As you can tell, I'm not the one that cuts out the illustrations. I like to keep them inside these magazines or books. But I usually use this kind of fixative on top just to fix the pigment on the paper so it doesn't smear or spread around. Alright, that was Christmas special. And after that comes one of my favorite issues by Coloring Heaven, the Dark Fantasy Special by Enys Guerrero. She's an amazing artist. Go check out her profiles on social media or check out her artwork. It is stunning, just stunning. And these images here are superb. So if you're into coloring women, hair, like clothes, or you have this kind of dark or gothic side in you, this is fantastic magazine. Some of these pictures have this sort of anime thing going on, I think. But some of them are quite realistic also, and filled with different items and all sorts of stuff going on. So there's lots of different combinations of things here. And the backside is absolutely gorgeous. You can also color the front and back of the magazines, but I like to keep them fresh. The next one is Dragons Special by Dr. Ernest Drake, and this issue is based on his books, and it introduces you to different dragons or dragonkin. And these are very, very lovely and funny. The dragons are all different to each other. There's winged ones, and there's whimsical ones, and there's even dreadful ones. They come from all over the world. So if you're interested in getting to know how they look like, this is a very nice issue to have. And the next one is also dragon themed. It's called Dragons in Nature Special by Anastasia Eli Koldareva. She also draws very pretty girls, but this one is filled with her dragons. And you can see every sort of dragon in their original inhabitant or spaces where they live. And they look really unique, so you can easily just use any colors you like. The paper quality in these Coloring Heaven magazines is quite nice. It's not too thick, but it's not too thin either, so it takes on different media. Alright, and the next artist most of you might know, she's Hanna Karlsson, and this is Dreamtime Special, and it's a collection of her previous works. She's published many books before, I think. I own a couple of them, and these are basically her women or ladies. They are really unique, and they always wear something brave or some jewelry. They have these imaginative headpieces, and sometimes there's also like illustrations of animals, like foxes. This was my first Hanna Karlsson themed book. And after this one I wanted to get more. The next one is Fairies Special by Janna Prosvirina. Fairies are always so nice to color. And this one is filled with different kind of fairies. Some are like Gothic or a little bit dark fairies, and some are more sweeter kind. The line work is quite simple, but when you color these, you can really train your way to look at the skin and makeup and scenery. So this is a very nice book to start your hobby also. The next book is also fairy themed. It's called Fairies and Elves Special by Lindsay Archer. She is a fabulous artist. All her women are so pretty and nice. And she has a nice touch when she's drawing, so I really like her work. This is a quite fantasy themed issue with also unicorns or horses and landscape, and yet again another gorgeous back page. And another one fairy themed, it's called Fairies and Friends Special by Meredith Dillman, another marvelous artist. Check out her work if you can. She's done her own coloring books as well. Unfortunately, I don't own any of them, but I plan to get some of them at some point. This is a nice collection of her illustrations. She's having these cute girls or very like mysterious girls. Also like Western styled and Eastern styled fairies, and sometimes with their animal companions. Very, very sweet issue. And we continue our fantasy theme. The next one is Fantasy Princess Special by Josh Lee Arts. He's a young artist, and check out his social media if you want to support him. He's a really nice artist, and his style is quite unique. It's based on manga style, but it has these very detailed little things going on in the pictures, like flowers or items. This can be quite a work to color, but if you're patient or if you want to train your skills, it's a very nice book. Alright, then with the letter G. Gothic Alchemy Special by Alchemy England 1977 is one of the best magazines from Coloring Heaven that I have. This is filled with fantastic grayscales, and they base on the original artwork by Alchemy England, and these are just marvelous to look at. Mystical, magical women, dragons, and some Gothic vibe in every picture. One of the best grayscale coloring pages that I've ever seen. It might be challenging to some of you, but it is so worth it. And besides, you don't always necessarily need to color these in. You can just like marvel these glorious pictures. Yeah, this is a fantastic magazine. And more magical themed pictures. Magic and Mythology Special by Lindsay Archer. If you're into mythology, like old gods and goddesses and mythical beings, this is for you. The line work is not that detailed, but the pictures are a great collection of different mythological characters. They are really fun to color, and because the theme is fantasy, you can basically just go wild with your colors if you like. And you can get to know these awesome old stories and characters. A gorgeous one. Next one I have is Mermaid Special by Selina Fenech, or Fenech. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. She has a very nice style with her art, and I think she's done some coloring books and some writing also, I think. This is a nice collection of her works. Unfortunately, I missed the first Selina Fenech themed issue from Coloring Heaven. It was a Gothic issue, I think. But this one is a nice replacement. Goddesses and Mythology Special by Selina Fenech again. There's more of her mysterious and godlike women here. You can really train with coloring hair and skin and dresses, flowers, wings. The images are really lovely. Lots of pretty ladies and horses, of course. And then we keep on going with the fantasy theme. This is Nouveau Fantasy Special by Herb Leonhard. He's an American artist. And this is Art Nouveau styled mythical characters here, like Valkyries and medieval scenery with dragons and mythical beings. The images are wonderful. The combination of composition and details is awesome. If you're into coloring small details but following lines, like strict lines, this is a must for you. And another issue by Kanoko Egusa is The Secret World of Animals Special. More of her whimsical, cute little animals are in this book. Lovely images. There's a lot to color, as you can see. Many details. Flowers, scenery, animals behaving like human. So cute. So for you animal lovers, please try this out and go check her work out. She's a wonderful artist. Very unique Japanese artist. And she's done some really nice coloring books. And I'm looking forward to own them at some point. Alright. Sorcerers and Sorceresses Special by Nelke Shoemaker or Schumacher, however it is pronounced. She's a new artist to me. I'm not sure if she's inspired by real people, but I've noticed that some of these pictures here in this magazine resemble some of the Instagrammers I know or I follow. These are really decoratively dressed magic users or sorcerers here. Fantastic makeup design and hairstyles and dresses to go with them. You can like really imagine the stories behind these characters as you're working on them. Really unique and fabulous style that she has. To keep the fantasy thing going on, we have the Dark Crystal Special, and this has various artists. And this is based on the original movie, The Dark Crystal. And if you've seen the Netflix series that follows it, I think this also has the vibes from it and the characters from it. There's simple line work pictures. There's also more artistic drawings here. So if you're a fan of the movie or the series, this is a nice magazine to have. And the next Coloring Heaven issue is one of my favorites also. This is Timeless Beauties Special by Momo Girl. She draws very lovely, sweet young girls and boys. Very Korean or Japanese looking persons. And you can surely get the anime vibe here. They're very dreamy-like. And there's lots of plants, animals and flowers in these. I've only colored some of these pictures, like this one. In this one I added the background, or some parts of it. But I'm really looking forward to continue working on some of these pictures. All the characters have big eyes and cute hairstyles and dresses, so it's a wonderful thing to practice your skill. This one is called Witches Special by Elizabeth Alba. If you're into witchery, or like some tarot designs, for example, I think this could be a nice book for your collection. The images and her art style is super cool. There's a lot of different kind of witches here, and I think these pictures resemble some tarot cards, or at least they're titled with tarot card titles, like pentacles and swords and such. Really awesome issue. Woodland Fairies Special by Christine Karron is one of the all-time Coloring Heaven favorites, I think. There's a lot of Coloring Heaven subscribers that have completed at least one picture from this book. It is filled with lovely, sweet fairies, sometimes with plants and flowers and animals like birds here. A really nice way to practice your skin work and hair work. And I think there was some grayscale versions here also. So a nice combination of different illustrations. And more Woodland Fantasy for you guys. Woodland Fantasy Special by Adele Lorienne. This one has these elf people, I think, or fairies and animals, or their animal companions. Lots of flowers and plants and wood scenery. And very, very intricate line work. But of course you can also just forget lines and color however you like these. So you shouldn't be held by the line work. She also has a very lovely style to portray people. And some more to show you guys. Back to anime style, World of Anime Special by Collateral Damage Studios. This is quite similar to the anime issue that I showed you. The girls are quite similar, and the sceneries. So I guess these kind of show you the Japanese traditions. So if you're interested in Japan or Eastern traditions and people, you can give this a go. The line work is pretty simple, so it's very suitable for newcomers also. Next one here is World of Dragons Special by Anne Stokes. She's a veteran, I think, with her fantasy pictures. She's an awesome artist. And here's a collection of her previous artworks or illustrations. So there's a lot of mystical girls and dragons or other magical entities. Also some wallpaper art, which I'm not that fond of. But the other pictures are much more like me, I guess. I enjoy these Gothic styled pictures. So this is a nice issue to have also. And the last one from Coloring Heaven is World of Princesses Special by Fabiana Trere. If you like coloring pretty women or princesses or ladies and study different cultures, I highly recommend this one for you. If you like ornaments, jewelry, hair, maybe coloring faces or portraits, this is a fantastic issue to have. I really like her style, it's quite unique. And I like how he portrays these different cultures and people. And I also am into the way that she draws and adds like a bit of touch of the grayscale. So, yeah, awesome one. Then I have a couple of Coloring Heaven collection magazines here. The first one is Costume by Fabiana Trere, the same artist as before. This is a nice continuation. So, different costumes and dresses and cultures, they all combine here in great illustrations. I'm so looking forward to give these illustrations a go. I've only tackled some of them. And I also like that there's sometimes these portraits of men also included, and not always women, even though it doesn't matter what sex the persons are, so you can color them whatever you like. Then I have Flowers 2018 by Leila Dooley. She's a botanical artist. She draws different plants and flowers. These are very detailed, and I think that you can basically just follow the guides here. They tell which plants and flowers these are, but usually I just go with the flow and just imagine them however I want them to be. So don't worry. Then a couple more books. This is my first and only Kirby Rosane's book, Color Morphia. This was gifted to me. It's a nice addition to my collection. And this book starts with some artwork or colored work. And then you get these very detailed pictures here. I imagine that these take some time to complete, unless you're just putting some random colors just over the lines and not care the lines. Then I have this book called Craft Sensations, or Coloring Book for Adults, Craft Sensations. It has 80 designs. I'm not sure if the designs are from Shutterstock again. These are nice illustrations to practice your coloring. Very, very detailed, but don't let the details bother you that much. You can color them any way you like. It's a shame that these are two-sided. It prevents you coloring the both sides. Of course you can do that, but then pay attention to what colors you're using. And this is a similar book, coloring book for all those crafts and sections, with 32 designs. It is quite similar to the previous book I showed you guys. Nice book to train your skills, so to say. Alright, thanks for seeing this video, and I'll see you in the next part.